Self-awareness becomes surprisingly difficult when your own behavior creates the biggest blind spots. So in this video, we'll help you recognize the top 5 unconscious behavior patterns, what to do about them, and how others might really see you. Plus, we'll share the most challenging blind spot that can quietly drain your relationships at the end of this video.
Habit number 1. Ever wonder why some people seem to go with the flow when handling negative feedback, while others always look like they're fighting against it? Actually, there's a simple way to acknowledge feedback that others see as genuine openness. Consider 2 coworkers receiving feedback from their supervisor about missing a project deadline. The first coworker immediately explains their research process, shares context about unexpected challenges, and asks detailed questions about future expectations. The second coworker listens quietly, acknowledges the missed deadline, and asks one question about preventing this next time. You'd probably think the first coworker is being more engaged and really showing they care about improvement. However, over-explaining feedback typically signals defensive reactions and increases workplace anxiety about future criticism. But staying brief also can feel like you're not showing enough concern about your professional performance. So here's exactly how to respond to feedback without appearing resistant. You might want to acknowledge their concern before offering any explanation. This means showing you understand their perspective first, then providing your context if needed. One way is saying something like, "I can see this created problems for the timeline," before discussing what happened. Like when you miss a meeting, you acknowledge the inconvenience before explaining your scheduling conflict. This helps because people who receive feedback defensively are viewed as less competent and trustworthy than those who show initial receptiveness. Remember, acknowledge first, then explain if necessary. So listen for their main concern before jumping to reasons aimed at volatile rejection.
Habit number 2. Have you noticed how some people naturally flow in conversations while others seem to be constantly cutting people off? Well, there's a technique to create genuine dialogue space that others notice immediately. Picture this situation where 2 friends are catching up over coffee about their recent work changes. The first friend listens to complete thoughts, pauses before responding, and asks follow-up questions about details mentioned. The second friend jumps in mid-sentence, finishes thoughts for the other person, and immediately shares related personal experiences. This might seem like the second friend is being more enthusiastic and really connecting with the conversation. However, frequent interrupting usually creates social distance, frustration, and makes others feel unheard during important discussions. But waiting too long also can feel like you're not engaging or showing interest in their stories. So here's exactly how to time your responses perfectly. Consider doing a quick mental pause check before you start talking. It's about making sure they've completely finished their thought, not just stopped for breath. The approach is to count 2 beats after they stop speaking, then respond to what they actually said. Say you're discussing weekend plans, you wait for their complete description before adding your thoughts. This works since people who interrupt are consistently rated as less likable and more self-centered by conversation partners. Remember, 2 beats, then respond to their complete thought. So pause briefly whenever conversations feel rushed and you want to rush to give a response.
Habit number 3. What makes some people appear calm under pressure while others seem visibly overwhelmed even when they think they're hiding it well? Turns out you can actually regulate your nervous system. Think about 2 people giving presentations to their team about quarterly results. The first person maintains relaxed shoulders, speaks at normal pace, and keeps their hands steady while presenting. The second person tenses up their posture, speaks slightly faster than usual, and fidgets with presentation materials. This could look like the second person is more passionate and really invested in delivering important information effectively. However, Visible stress signals often undermine credibility and make others question your ability to handle challenging responsibilities. But appearing too relaxed also can feel like you're not taking serious situations with appropriate gravity. So here's exactly how to calm feeling stressed out. You can start by doing 3 slow breaths while dropping your shoulders down and back. This involves deliberately activating a relaxed response from your parasympathetic nervous system rather than just trying to look composed. Try taking these breaths before entering important conversations, letting your shoulders settle naturally. For instance, if you're walking into a difficult meeting, you pause outside and take 3 intentional breaths. It's because visible stress markers like muscle tension and rapid speech patterns are automatically detected by others within seconds. Remember, 3 breaths, shoulders down and back. So breathe slowly before important interactions.
Habit number 4. How come some people seem to handle problems with appropriate responses, while others appear to go overboard to relatively small issues? Good news is, there's a calibration technique for matching reactions proportionally. Watch what happens when 2 housemates discover their washing machine is broken and flooded the laundry room floor. The first housemate takes charge immediately, contacts repair services, starts cleaning up water, and discusses practical next steps. The second housemate expresses frustration about terrible timing, worries about damaged belongings, and vents about how this always happens at the worst moments. You might assume this second housemate is showing more appropriate emotional investment in genuinely caring about the household problem. However, overreactions to manageable problems often signal poor emotional regulation to others around you. But underreacting also can feel like you don't care enough about shared responsibilities. So here's how you proportion your emotional response correctly. Perhaps you should ask yourself how much this will matter next week's before reacting emotionally. The idea is rating the actual long-term importance of the situation on a scale from 1 to 10. Start with pausing and asking, will this be a big deal in 7 days when something frustrating happens? Think about when your internet goes down. You rate whether this is truly urgent before getting upset. This functions because people who match emotional intensity to situation importance are viewed as more emotionally intelligent and reliable. Remember, rate the week-long impact before reacting emotionally. So pause and determine your response to actual importance. Now, as promised, here's how to handle the most challenging situation that tests your social awareness more than any other.
Habit number 5. Why is it that some friendships strengthen during difficult times while others seem to fade when the friend is going through personal struggles? The reality is there's a balance for managing social energy. Observe how 2 friends handle a social gathering when one is dealing with relationship problems at home. The first friend mentions their situation briefly, checks in with others about their lives, and contributes to group conversations about different topics. The second friend repeatedly brings conversations back to their problems, seeks constant reassurance about their decisions, and focuses primarily on their feelings throughout the evening. It looks like the second friend is more open and really trusting the group with their authentic struggles. However, excessive emotional neediness typically exhausts others and creates social withdrawal from previously supportive relationships. But sharing nothing also can feel like you don't trust people or value their support. So here's the method to balance your social energy impact. Try checking whether you're giving emotional energy or primarily taking it during social interactions. This happens when you're asking questions about others and offering support versus mainly focused on and talking about your challenges. The method involves mentally tracking whether you've contributed positively to others' experiences during conversations. For example, when you're struggling financially, you still ask friends about their work situations. What occurs is that people unconsciously distance themselves from those who consistently drain their emotional battery. Remember, give energy when you can,
take when needed. So balance taking support with offering it to others. These unconscious patterns reveal whether you're connecting with others genuinely or pushing them away through behaviors you can't even see. When you start recognizing these blind spots early, you'll stop creating social distance and start building stronger relationships based on authentic awareness. Which blind spot do you think might pop up most in your own daily interactions? Let us know in the comments below. If you're interested to learn more about building unshakable social confidence, then be sure to watch our videos to learn more about the power of you. See you there.